Welcome to my channel. So in the today's lecture, we are going to discuss what is multi-level paging. Okay, so before watching this video, watch my video of non-contiguous allocation and conversion from logical to physical address in non-contiguous allocation. Okay, I will mention the link in the description box. What happens in paging? In paging, we are dividing our processes into pages. Okay, we are dividing our processes into pages. If you have watched my last video of conversion from logical to physical address in non-contiguous allocation, what we do, if your CPU is requesting for some instruction number, okay, let's suppose your CPU is executing process P2, okay, and your CPU is requesting for some instruction number. How we will be providing that instruction number to CPU? Okay, we have divided our instruction number into two parts. First one is page number and second one is page offset. Okay, so what we will be doing? Firstly, we will be going to page table. Firstly, we will go to the page table. Okay, what happened? Firstly, you will go to the required page number. Okay, in page table, we have stored, I have made page table for process P2. In this page table, I have stored page number and the corresponding frame number. Okay, so I will determine the frame number corresponding to the page number. Okay, what we will do? According to the page number, we will get the corresponding frame number. Okay, where that instruction is present in the main memory. Which frame? Okay, which frame you really need to get your instruction. Okay, with the help of page table, we can determine which page is present at which frame number in the main memory. Okay, after reaching at the required frame number, you will get your instruction number which your CPU need. Okay, so this is how we are going to convert our logical address to physical address. Okay, we take help of the page table. Okay, so your page table is also stored in the main memory. Okay, your page table is also stored in the main memory. Your complete process is divided into many number of pages. So your process is also stored in the main memory and your page table for your process is also stored in the main memory. Okay, so let me firstly tell you the benefit of using page table. Okay, why we are using the page table? It is one of your data structure. Let's suppose your process P2 has 4 pages. Okay, you have stored 4 pages. Here I am having process 1. This is process P2. This is process P2. Okay, this way we have stored our process P2. Okay, so if I don't we don't know where actual our instruction is present. Okay, so you have to look into the complete main memory. You don't know where your instruction is present. So your searching time is going to be increased. Okay, if you are using the page table, your searching time is going to be very less. Instead of searching the complete main memory, what you are doing, you are searching in the page table. Okay, you are searching in the page table, and from the page table you are going to the direct frame in the main memory. You don't need to search the complete main memory. You are searching some part of the main memory. Okay, your page table is also present in the main memory like this. This is a page table of process P2. Okay, we are not searching the complete main memory. We are just searching this page table of process P2. With the help of this page table, we are going to the required frame number, where you can get your actual instruction number. You go to that frame directly and you fetch your instruction number. So very less access is required. If you don't use the concept of page table, you have to search completely in the main memory. So searching time is going to be very much. Okay, that's why we do indexing. What is the purpose of indexing? Reduce the searching time. We have to search our required instruction as fast as possible. Okay, my complete page table is stored in just one page. Okay, your page table has lots of entries, like this page number is stored at this frame. Okay, like this way. Okay, so all of your 4 entries is actually stored in one page of main memory, in one frame of main memory. So how many memory accesses you are doing? How many frames you are accessing? In this case, we are accessing just 2 frames. Okay, so our searching time is going to be very reduced if we make use of page table. Now let me tell you what is the meaning of multi-level paging. How multi-level paging is important. Okay, so now let me tell you. So now let's suppose I am having a process P1. Okay, I am having a process P1 and there are 64 instructions present in process P1. I have divided my 64 instructions into 16 pages. Each page has 4 number of instructions. Okay, like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This way. 60, 61, 62 and 63. Okay, this is actually my process P1. Your process is nothing but some set of instructions, like we use MS Excel, MS Word. Okay, so my process P1 contains 64 instructions. I have divided my process P1 into 16 pages. Okay, so if you have to identify one page, if you have to differentiate one page from another page, how many bits do you really need? To uniquely identify 16 pages, we need 4 bits. Okay, like this: 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, like this: 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, so to identify one page, we need 4 bits. Okay, but to identify instruction within a page, you have reached at your page. Now you want to fetch your instruction within a page. So how many bits do you need? 2 bits, because we have 4 instructions within a page. So I need 2 bits to uniquely identify an instruction. Okay, 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. Okay, this way total we are having 6 bits. Okay, so we have total 64 instructions. To uniquely identify each and every instruction, we need total 6 bits for 64 instructions. What I have done, I have divided these 6 bits into 4 bits and 2 bits. Okay, I have total 16 pages, so I need 4 bits to uniquely identify each page. Once you have reached at the page, now you need 2 bits to uniquely identify your instruction within a page. Okay, so now what I want to make a page table for this process P1. Okay, let's suppose what I am doing in my page table. You know, your size of page table depends on the size of your process. Okay, if your process size is bigger, so obviously your page table size is also going to be increased, because the total number of entries in page table is going to be increased. Okay, so I have total 16 pages of process P1. So I have to store 16 entries in page table for each page. Okay, I have to store 16 entries. And this is my main memory. This is my main memory. Your page table is also going to be stored in the main memory. Okay, but what I have done, I have divided my main memory into frames like this. Okay, so your page table should also fit in one frame. Okay, but if your page table size is bigger than the size of frame, then what happens? You need many frames of the main memory to store your one page table for the process. Okay, in this case I have to store 16 entries in page table, but according to the size of the main memory frame, I can just store 4 page table entries in one frame. So how many frames we really need to store your page table in the main memory? We need 4 frames. Okay, so what I am going to do, like 0 0 0 0, this is present at this memory location, this page. Okay, and this page is present at this memory location, like this, 0 0 1 1 x x 3, like this. Okay, this way we need 4 frames to actually store your page table. Okay, I am storing the page number and the corresponding frame number in the main memory. This way I am going to store like this, 1 0 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 1. Okay, this way we are going to store like this. Okay, this way we are going to store our page table in the main memory. Okay, so now if your CPU is requesting for some instruction number, what we will firstly do, we will check this complete page table. We will check the page table to know that with the help of which frame number we can get our instruction check the firstly 4 frames initially. If you want to give your instruction back to CPU, what we have to do? We have to firstly check all these 4 frames to get the original frame number where your actually page is present. Once you go to that page, you will get your original instruction. Okay, but if you have to search for each and every frame, okay, you have to access 4 times main memory. You need to access 4 frames. Okay, so to search the exact frame number where your process is present, it is going to take lot of time. Okay, you have to search for 4 frames. It is very time consuming. What we want to do, we try to reduce the number of accesses, the number of frame accesses. Okay, if I have to search for each and every frame of the page table to get the required frame number where I can fetch my instruction, it is time consuming. So what I am going to do, I am going to make a one separate page table. One more page table for this 4 frames. Okay, so that I can reduce the number of memory accesses. What I am going to do to reduce the total number of memory accesses, I am going to make a one more page table for this page table. Okay, what I am going to do, I am going to one more page table. Okay, to uniquely determine these 4 frames. Okay, to uniquely determine these 4 frames, we need actually 2 bits. Okay, if you look at it, this 0, 0 is common here. 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. So what I am saying, if you want to go to 0, 0 frame, you should go to this memory location like this. Okay, if you want to go to frame 0, 1, you go to this memory location. If you want to go to 1, 0, you go to this memory location. If you want to go to 1, 1 frame, go to this memory location. Okay, this way we are trying to reduce the total number of memory accesses. Okay, let's suppose this is the page of your process stored in the main memory like 60, 61, 62 and 63, and it is stored at this memory location. Okay, your CPU request, I need 63 instruction number of process P1. Okay, your CPU is executing process P1 and your CPU says I need 63 instruction number of your process. How you will be giving that instruction back to CPU? Firstly, I am going to divide it into the binary form. This 61 is going to be the binary form of 63. What I will do, I have made 2 page tables. Okay, this is the short page table. This is the index for this page table. Okay, why I make one separate page table? So that I can reduce the total number of main memory accesses. I don't want to search in these 4 frames. I just want to go to the direct frame of page table. Okay, what I am going to do? Firstly, I have 2 bits. Okay, I am going to go to the 2 bits. 1, 1. It says if you want 1, 1, you go to this frame number X04. So from here, I am going to directly go to this frame. Okay, so if you observe one thing, with the help of this page table, you are directly going to your required frame. 1. Okay, this is the first, second, third and fourth. 1 1. So I am going here. Okay, so what it say, if you want to go to this page number, okay, if you want to go to this page number 1111, this completely is actually a one page number, but just for the simplicity, just to reduce the total number of main memory accesses, we have divided it. Okay, we have divided it because we have two page table. Okay, so it says if you want to go to this page number 1111, you go to this memory location, you go to this frame, there you will find your instruction number. Okay, so I am going to jumping from here to this memory location. Okay, now I am at this frame number, this memory location. Okay, now what I need a page offset. It says 1 1. So 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. Okay, so I am fetching this instruction number. Okay, so I will be giving this instruction back to CPU. Okay, this is actually the starting address of this page. This is the starting address of your frame. What you will be doing? You will be adding these three values to this starting address. Then you will get the address of your original instruction. Okay, so we are doing nothing. We are making references to the main memory. Your data is stored at different locations. Our first motive is we try to reduce the total number of main memory accesses. Okay, we are moving from one place to another place. Indirect references we are giving. Okay, so that we can get the original instructions which your CPU want. Okay, so we are giving nothing but references. If you have reached at one location, you now go to this frame number or this reference. You go to that reference. Okay, you will get your instruction number from there. So this is how multi-level paging is going to work. Multi-level paging means if your page table size is very big, you have to store your one page table in many frames of the main memory. So if you are going to search for each and every frame of your page table, so it is going to be very time consuming. What you do? You make a once more page table for this page table. Okay, in this outer page table, you will be storing the pages of the frames of your page table. So this outer page table is going to help you to reduce the total number of main memory accesses. Okay, and if this outer page table size is also very big, it is also going to take 2 to 3 frames of the main memory. What you do? You make one more page table. We make page table unless we store our page table in the one frame. Okay, we make multiple copies of your page table. Okay, we make many page table one over another unless we get our page table in the one frame. Okay, so this is how multi-level paging is going to work. It is really going to be helpful for you if you want to reduce the total number of main memory accesses. Because if you will be searching for each and every location of the main memory, your lot of time is going to be wasted. Okay. So I hope that you are clear with multi-level paging. If you have any query, I have mentioned my email ID in the description box. You can contact me on that email ID. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe my channel.